Today we're talking about the 5 reasons why INFJs seem slow but are actually not. So this is something that not only other people think about INFJs, this is mostly something that INFJs think about themselves. We're too slow, there's something wrong with us, it's all me, there's a reason why everybody's getting ahead in life and not me, I'm just incredibly slow. And the truth is that you're not slow. It's just a way of perspective. So today we're going to talk about the 5 reasons why INFJs seem to be slow, but are actually not. Before we get started, remember, if you haven't done this so far, to download the poster on the INFJ Epic Life formula. And if you want to take it to the next level, then get the INFJ Epic Life audio guide today. Everything you need to know you can find in the links in the description. Reason number 1 why INFJs seem slow is because we have an exponential learning curve. So I've had, specific videos on this topic alone because I believe it's incredibly important. Our way of learning something is always exponential. So no matter what you take on, you'll always be slower in the beginning than others. But it is just the beginning phase. It's not something that will turn out this way if you give yourself the peace of mind that it's totally okay to go that pace. So having an exponential learning curve means that no matter what you take on, your learning will be like this in the beginning. And at some point, it's going to turn like this. And in comparison, another person might have a linear way of learning. And in the beginning, of course, they're going to be faster at us. But at some point, we're going to surpass that. And this is, of course, a general way of looking at the situation. It's not like every single person with an exponential learning curve is going to do better than a person with a linear learning curve. But if you're not allowing yourself the freedom to get to this place where you're making that jump up, you're never going to see the fruits of your labor. Very often INFJs have this beginning phase and they are so discouraged by it because they look left and right and see people, moving along. And it makes them feel like there's something wrong with them. The truth is, it's not. You have to trust yourself that there is a reason why you're approaching the situation slowly. It's not that you're lazy. It's because we want to understand what this is all about. Like I've set this example in another video as well. For example, if it's about learning what 2 times 3 is, another type might learn it by heart. They say, okay, 2 times 3 is 6. What we learn is, okay, how does multiplication work? So once we get to bigger numbers, we know how the game works. And we're not just learning for the 50th time now by heart, like what 4 times 5 is, right? We have just learned, okay, that's how multiplication works. So I can multiply no matter what kind of number you put in front of me. And this is, of course, not just something that, concerns math. This is about everything in life. This is about how you deal with people. This is about how you approach a new job. This is about how you take on a new project. This is also how you learn how to deal with failure, how to grow, how to learn from your mistakes, all of that. So that's why we as INFJs have to be aware of that's the way we learn. We have an exponential learning curve, and it's totally normal that in the beginning, other people are going to surpass you. Don't let that discourage you. It's just part of the game. If it were any other way, then we're probably not doing things in our best interest. Reason number 2 why INFJs seem slow is because we have a limited physical power. Every single person has a limited physical power. Okay, we know that. But we as INFJs look at it from the perspective of every single time I exude energy to do something, as in extroverted sensing, having drive, like really doing things, getting out of our own way, like making things happen. This is something that we don't have a lot of power for. And this is not something that has to be a problem if we're aware of it. Other types, like, sensing types, ESTPs, they continue doing things, and they might have to learn, how to use their power for the right things. We as INFJs come from a different perspective. We already know I don't have the power to, work 24 hours. I don't have the power to, get 50 things done in a day. So if I do things, then I will preserve my energy and I will use it for the things that matter to me. And doing things extra fast just because, I have to exude some kind of energy just doesn't make sense. So of course we take on a lot of the things we do at a slow pace, which actually lead us to results that happen because we're not slow. They are results of people who get things done, but they only happen this way because we allow ourselves to take on so many things at a slow pace that don't need to be rushed, right? We really have to make sure that the power that we do have, we use that in the areas that matter to us and not just in everything that we do just because it might look like we're slow. Reason number 3 why INFJs seem slow is because the alternative would mess with our inner peace. We as INFJs, we are very much like a meditation, like to begin with. That's not just how other people might perceive the INFJ. This is also a way that we go through life. It's not like we don't have those phases where our mind is just constantly thinking about things, but our overall energy is very, grounded in a relaxed way. That's how we are. And that's the best way for us to go through life. That's the best way for us to reach the results that we want. And if we would just rush ourselves, we are messing with that inner peace. So it's much easier for us and it has a much bigger chance of success if we do the things that we do in a slow pace that works best with our slow inner calmness. Remember, that's a good thing. Everybody wants to have a mind that isn't racing. So don't look at it in a perspective of, oh, there's something wrong with me. Look at it from the perspective of, I'm doing slow living. I'm doing it in a way that I've consciously decided to do. And that's the best way for me to approach life. Reason number 4 why INFJs seem slow is because we have already made the experience that it's just not necessary to rush. Very often we see people around us and they're all about doing, and then we look at their results and they're not really that incredible. It's something that people feel like they have to do because otherwise they would feel weak or they would feel slow. But because it's in our nature to do things in a slow pace, we already have seen the results of that. And in most cases, it doesn't lead to a life that is worse than the life of others who rush themselves all the time. Our life is slower. Our life is, with way more calmness. And this is a way that works for us. And we have learned that, by doing it this way, it doesn't necessarily lead to results that are worse than the people who rush themselves. I know often INFJs really struggle with this and they feel they're too slow and there's something wrong with them. But once you allow yourself to look at it from the perspective of, okay, I've done things in a slower pace. Is it really that I achieved so much less than others, or am I just being too harsh on myself? Are those people who are all about doing, in the end at the exact same spot I'm at? And always ask yourself, who are you comparing yourself to, right? You can always compare yourself to somebody who achieved more. You can always compare yourself to somebody who achieves less. So it's always on you in what direction you're looking. And if you think you're too slow, you're always going to compare yourself with people, who have achieved more. The best choice here is, of course, not to compare yourself at all. Or if you compare yourself, then compare yourself to the version you were yesterday or last week or whatever it may be and say, how can I improve myself from where I have been? And that does not mean that you have to do things at a faster pace. It just means that you have to do the right things for you. Reason number 5 why INFJs seem slow is because we're observers. You cannot really be aware of everything that's going on around you if you're all in rush mode. It's good to keep your head down and get your tasks done when it's time, to really do the physical work in certain things. But our overall approach is to look at a situation and to look at how it's developing and how it's evolving and to learn our lessons from that and then to alter certain decisions that we're making. That's how we go through life. And if you're not doing this in a slow way, you're going to miss certain things. This is one of our superpowers, that we can take ourselves out of a situation, that we look at a situation holistically. And you cannot do this if you're in a rushed state. It only works if we allow ourselves to look at the situation from a perspective of, okay, I'm going to slow down, I'm going to look at the situation, I'm going to understand what's going on, and I'm going to make a decision that is going to help me to make the best out of it. This is not possible if everything you do is focused on rushing yourself to get through it. I'm not saying that this is the best way to go through life because I don't think there is a best way. What we have to understand though is we as INFJs aren't like fast people to begin with. So let's go through life and focus on all the benefits that being an INFJ brings us and to actually do more of that, to improve upon that, to get the most out of who we are instead of always wishing we were somebody else. Trust me, by loving who you are, by appreciating everything that you do and how your mind is set up, it will get you to places way faster than anything else. Remember, if you want some more guidelines how to use your way of seeing the world to create the life you always wanted, then get the free poster on the INFJ Epic Life formula. And if you want to take it to the next level and you really want to go deep into it, then get the INFJ Epic Life audio guide. Everything you need to know you can find in the links in the description. And if you want to watch another video now that is in alignment with today's topic, then watch the exceptional learning style of the INFJ.